Hello children, today on Politics for the Under 6 we're on the River March and here's Bob with his friend Polly.
Hi kids.
So Bob, did you find this giant plastic whale while you're bobbing about in the sea?
Well, actually, funnily enough, I did. And there's a new one like this born every third of a second because it takes just 1/3 of a single second, 24 hours a day, for this much plastic to get into the oceans. Just 1/3 of a second for all of this.
To end plastic pollution, stop making plastic. It sounds so simple, doesn't it, Polly? Why would a plastic whale worry about clean rivers when there's plenty of plastic for it to eat in the oceans?
Well, actually, whales can't eat plastic. No, that's not true. They can eat plastic, but if they do eat it, they can't digest it. So you find that there's every day about 275 large sentient marine animals that die a slow, agonizing death, is with their stomachs full of plastic, many kilos of plastic in their stomachs, or they get entangled in plastic fishing nets which have been discarded by fishing boats. And so every day 275 of them dying a slow, agonizing death. Now that's not good, is it? In fact, I'd go as far as to say, if that's not a scandal, I really don't know what is.
Thanks, Bob. We'll stick some whale song over the top and it'll be really poignant.
We're having a whaley good time today, kids. The plastic industry is really the fossil fuel industry because 99% or so of plastics that we call plastics now are made from fossil fuels. Now, at COP28, we finally mentioned fossil fuels as the problem for climate change. And we said we must try to transition away from using fossil fuels in the energy sector. Now, that really was like saying to the industry, let's try to transition towards using fossil fuels in every other sector, in the petrochemicals or the plastic sector. So they see plastics as their way of expanding over the next coming decades. And they're putting hundreds of billions, not hundreds of millions, hundreds of billions of dollars into more plastic production. Now, most of this plastic is destined to go to countries which have no waste handling facilities or very little. So their traditional way of handling waste is just to pile it all up and let it rot away, while plastic will shed all sorts of chemicals, or to put a match to it and burn it, which also gives lots of very nasty chemicals and toxins, which are carcinogenic and which disrupt your hormone system, which is very bad, especially for young people, even babies. These chemicals can get across the placental barrier. They can change the way babies develop. So if you're just looking at one little bit, you can't solve the plastic crisis. You've got to look at the whole picture. So if you try and put, for example, filters on washing machines to filter out microplastics, you think, well, you're saving people from microplastics. But you're not really, because the filters are made out of plastics. The filters then have to be maintained. Who's going to maintain them? What are you going to do with the plastic that comes out of them? They're probably going to be a biohazard in your own home if you take them out in your home. The filters then themselves are made of plastic, so they have to then be disposed of. So that's more plastic as well. They can't filter out the smallest particles, which are the particles which cross the biological barriers and get into our brains and our hearts and our blood, everything. So filters are not the answer. They're looking at the problem in a way of treating the symptom rather than the disease. The disease is plastic. We've got to make less of it. Once it's made, there is no safe way of handling plastic. As you're making it, it causes pollution. When you use it, it causes pollution. We cannot dispose of it without causing pollution. There is no way of dealing with it. As soon as plastic is made, it's doomed to either become pollution or toxic waste. There are no other outcomes with plastic over time.
Thanks, Bob.
About to get a ticket, look, the traffic wardens are coming.